Steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad question.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo. What's up? My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. First things first, before I get to everything else, man, I just have to give a personal update, things of that sort. You know, some may call it oversharing, and it is 100%. But I feel like it was important for me to even say out loud and stuff like that and make public, even if this, doesn't get as many views as the celebrity gossip and everything like that. I felt like it was important to say and shout out because it's a part of my roots and how I became who I am today, and how I even pursued the path that I pursued. So I just lost my uncle on late Sunday night, early Monday night, and it's the second uncle I've lost in the past 6 months. They were twins, and the first one in August, he was he took me to one of the playoff games that the Hawks had against the Cavaliers in like 2009 in the second round when the Hawks got swept, and it was game 3. My father was out of town, so he was looking to give the tickets away, and he ended up giving it to me, and my uncle was the only one who could really take me. And so I remember that game vividly and stuff like that, and going to the game with him, talking trash to Brown and Brown going off and stuff like that. It was pretty funny stuff. Delonte West was on that team. That was the dancing team and stuff. And yeah, man, he did kung fu and karate and stuff like that. He was a veteran and stuff like that, so he's very active and everything. And he was one of those people that kind of instilled athletics and an active lifestyle to me early on. And now my latest uncle, he was someone, once he moved down from New York, he was down with anything. He played catch with me, baseball, out in the park and stuff like that, when I had nobody else to play catch with, when I had nobody else to have whole batting practice with. I didn't go to batting cages or anything like that. Like, it was just him, pitching me the ball and be hitting it all throughout the parks and stuff like that, the local park, in between practices, and just getting some swings in, and playing catch with him, and just getting kind of like my hand-eye coordination up in the sport of baseball, very difficult sport and everything like that. He was there for me almost every single day after school at the park, going to the park, playing one-on-one, playing 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, whatever the case might be. He was my guy at the park with basketball, and like well into his 40s, 50s. He was still dunking. He was still driving past me and could still get up a little bit. He played with Phil Ford in high school. And Phil Ford, for those of you who don't know, outside the state of North Carolina, he was a big time like North Carolina point guard in UNC history. And he had the thing 4 corners. So Phil Ford and 4 corners is like a kind of like a offense that is forever implemented in like the history of college basketball and basketball period. It was just always something that was there. Phil Ford went on to play in the NBA as well. So, it's just, I don't know, man. I got a lot from both of them, especially this latest one. It was a shock to the whole family, shock to myself. And without those two, I definitely would not be where I am today. I wouldn't have the passion for the game of basketball or sports that I have. And I just appreciate them so much, both of them. So rest in peace to both of them. So yeah, that's why you see the different background, different everything right now with the production and setup of the live, because I'm not home right now. I'm with family. I'm back in the A for a couple days, and then we got the service, and then I'm headed back home. So yeah, that's the case with that. I appreciate y'all for letting me get that off, and let's get into it without further ado. So the first things first, the news tonight. I'm gonna get into it, man. Let's see. ASAP Rocky found not guilty, brother. ASAP Rocky found not guilty of his charges. A huge thing, because he was facing the maximum, I believe, of 24 years with both of the counts that he was facing with the whole ASAP Rally incident from a few years ago. For those of you who are unfamiliar, before I read the story from the AP, a few years ago, I think pretty like 2021, I want to say. Yeah, 2021. ASAP Rocky was in a argument with a childhood friend, ASAP Relly, and they were kind of going back and forth at it. And then from the surveillance footage, it looked like they kind of got into a bit of a shoving match. And then it looked like Rocky on the surveillance footage pulled out a weapon, and then the footage didn't actually get any shots, but you could hear some shots, and then you see from different surveillance footage that Rocky is running down the street and he's running away. And that was the entire case, because it was pretty much just if he was actually if it was Rocky who was actually shooting at Relly, indeed, then he was going 24 years, a maximum of 24 years in the prison sentence. They turned down a deal. It was like 3 months and a year and a half on probation before the trial started. A lot of people like that's a great deal, being the stakes that he's facing here. But the defense, one of their arguments were that it was a fake gun, and and another thing was that Relly couldn't prove self defense because he didn't pull out a weapon himself on the thing. I don't know. It was just it was a few kind of holes in Relly's story, and some when what would seem to be a layup because you had the video. But it is what it is. Rocky is off. He's not guilty. First thing he did was jump over the barrier into Rihanna's arms. Of course, I don't want to say that was calculated 100%, but if your wife or if your life partner, if your baby mom's is a billionaire kind of icon, modern day icon, and she's kind of obviously the most notable famous person in the room at the time, and you run over there to hug her, the cameras are going to get her. You know what that moment is going to look like, come across as. So that's what he did, and he kind of just did not hold back. And that was just after the first verdict was announced. He still had another count that needed to be announced and stuff like that, and he was already jumping for glee and stuff like that. So it was what it was, and let's read the story from Andrew Dalton of the AP. From Los Angeles, AP. ASAP Rocky dove into the arms of Rihanna on Tuesday as a clerk read the not guilty, read the not guilty verdict at his trial of 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The Los Angeles courtroom, full of fans of the hip hop performer and his singing superstar partner, exploded into screaming glee. Hold on, let me make sure my audio's right too, because I've been going for a little. Okay. Audio's good. Into screaming glee. Where we at? Screaming glee as Rocky leapt into the defense table into the gallery where Rihanna sat between his mother and sister. They embraced and sobbed. After a 3-week trial, the jury deliberated for just 3 hours to reach the verdict that spared Rocky, whose legal name is Rakim Mayers, a prison sentence that could run him more than 2 decades. Thank y'all for saving my life, he told the jurors as they left. Amid the chaos, it took the clerk a while to read the second not guilty verdict, though it was very unlikely the jury would split on the counts. Mr. Mayers, you're excused, Judge Mark Arnold said. On the eve of the trial, Rocky turned down a prosecution offered of just 6 months in jail, there it is, along with probation and other conditions if he pled guilty to 1 count. Insisting his innocence, Rocky decided to gamble that a jury would feel the same. It paid off. The jurors felt at least there was some reasonable doubt of his guilt. Rihanna hugged the defense lawyers, as did Rocky. She attended the trial sporadically and brought the couple's 2 sons, 2-year-old RZA Mayers and Rose Mayers, to some of the closing arguments. The couple had to fight through a crush of photographers, reporters, YouTubers, and fans waiting to get into the SUV outside of the courthouse after the verdict. This whole experience has been crazy for the last 4 years, Rocky said amid the mob scene. I'm thankful and it's blessed to be here to be a free man talking to y'all. District Attorney Nathan Hodgman said he respected the jury's decision. Our office remains committed to seeking accountability for those who break the law, no matter their status or influence, Hodgman said in a statement. Fame does not place one above the law, and we will not waver in our pursuit of justice for the victims and the community. The verdict came at the height of Rocky's fame, if not the pinnacle of his music career. What? Pinnacle of his music career? See, this is why you need diversity. This is why you need diversity in your newsroom. This is why you need diversity on your staff. It came at the pinnacle of his music career. Rocky ain't dropped an album in 4 years. Rocky had the Taylor Swift music video last year, and he been teasing this "Don't Be Dumb" album since what 2023. He teased it December 2023 is February 2020. He's not at the pinnacle of his music career. Now he can be if he drops his "Don't Be Dumb" and it goes crazy as a 2000, because see, like, and this is not even a diss to ASAP Rocky. This is more so respecting ASAP Rocky and what ASAP Rocky was as a musician, as an artist, as a rapper, as a hip hop, as an icon, what he meant to music 2011 to 2000, I say 16. You can even say 17 because you got the G Easy joint. You know what I'm saying? 2017. What Rocky did and what Rocky meant to music, the music he was consistently dropping from 2011 to 2017, you cannot possibly say 2025 he's at the pinnacle of his career. Can't say that's. I feel like that's disrespectful to what Rocky was in 2011 and 2012. But anyways, the verdict came at, and if not the pinnacle of his music career, the three-time Grammy nominee, fashion mogul, and actor has a banner year in the works and can now look to it without the threat of prison time hanging over him. He is scheduled to headline the Rolling Loud Music Festival in March. He's one of the celebrity co-chairs of music fashion's biggest night, the Met Gala, in May, and he stars with Denzel Washington and director Spike Lee's film Highest to Lowest, set to release in the early summer. Prosecutors and their witnesses said that he was beefing with a former friend, ASAP Rocky, with whom he had been in a crew with. They called themselves the ASAP Mob since high school. They said the two men met up in Hollywood in November 6, 2021. There it is. And after a scuffle, Rocky pulled a gun and fired twice at Relly, who said one of the shots grazed his knuckle, but was not seriously hurt. Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopino said in his closing argument that Relly is an angry, pathological liar who commented perjury again and again and again. Rocky's lawyers and witnesses they called said Rocky had a prop gun that only fires blanks, which he had been carrying for security since it was taking it from a music video set months earlier. They said he fired it as a warning because Relly was attacking another member of their crew. The jurors were instructed that they found that Rocky reasonably believed that he or one of the two friends with him that night were in imminent danger of injury, and that he used reasonable force. They could find the defendant not guilty. Excuse me. The jurors were escorted from the courthouse, and they all left promptly without speaking to reporters. It wasn't clear whether they reached a verdict because they believed he was in fact carrying a prop gun or that he acted in self-defense. They did not have to agree on their reasoning or explain it outside of the jury room. They just had to reach the same conclusion. They saw through the mirage of the case, Tacopina said. He turned down a plea for almost no jail time because he was innocent. In his closing argument, Deputy District Attorney John Lewin urged the jurors not to be influenced by the celebrity or family aspects of the case and suggested Rihanna bringing the kids to closing arguments was an attempt to manipulate the jury. You are not allowed to consider how this might affect Rihanna and her kids, the prosecutor said. We are all responsible for our own actions in this world. Yikes. After the verdict, Tacopina said outside the courthouse that Rocky did not want her here. I will tell you that. He said Rocky wanted to shield her from this. Wild horses couldn't keep her away. Rocky was more than 30 minutes late into the reading for the verdict and looked shaken and tense as he waited for it. There was a moment when, before he heard the words, the clerk, he didn't know if he was going to spend the next 2 decades in jail or going home, Tacopino said. Then came the explosion of emotion, and he leapt into the crowd. I didn't know how athletic he was, Tacopino said. That was raw emotions. You guys got to see that. Even for us, that was insane. Yeah, that's what I got from it as well, watching it live on the Law and Order channel or the Law and Crime channel. Shout out to the Law and Crime channel. Yeah, Rocky was definitely shaking, bro. Rocky was shaking. And you could see it visibly. He was shaking there in the courtroom as they were reading it. He was looking over his shoulder, looking at each person as they were kind of announcing what was about to happen and stuff. And what else did he say? And he said out loud, thank you for saving my life. Like, he said it out loud when the mic was still going. he gave his reaction and said yes, and ran behind and jumped over and stuff like that and hugged, all in real time. And you know, those were all real emotions. Also, you could tell he was late because the verdict was supposed to be read at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it was read at 8 p.m. Eastern, nearly 8 p.m. Eastern. So he was definitely late, and but they got it done. And on one hand, you have to, salute that, this man gets to go home now to his family, 2 kids and his lifetime partner. And hopefully, it's also, I don't know, he might think it's nothing to learn here because I just had this name for like they said, protection, and it was just a prop. It wasn't real or anything like that. It was just for protection and stuff like that. If that was the case and everything like that, then I don't know. I'm just glad that a guy gets to, continue to live his life, be with his family, not have any major interruptions. And I hope, if there was, hypothetically, in the world where there was any involvement in any type of craziness in this argument turned trial, there was any craziness, I hope Rocky learns from it and doesn't put himself in those positions again, because he's now affiliated and forever linked, thanks to their 2 children, with the billionaire, with the multifaceted billionaire. So, I just hope Rocky kind of continues to move smarter as the time goes on as well. Salute to ASAP Rocky. Shout out Rihanna as well. Speaking of Rihanna and Rock Nation, we got Jay-Z. Now I think I mentioned this before, but I need to make a video on it because a lot of people are talking about the lack of follow-ups. And for me, it was a crazy time and stuff, like you guys already heard what's been going on at the beginning of the video, if you haven't already. This is the World of 5K Subs. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. But yes, back to this. It's been a crazy time for me. I never got to address it. But for the sake of due diligence and responsible journalism, I will mention this. That the suit against Jay-Z has been dropped. As you guys know, the accuser, a couple days later, after Jay-Z said, "This is cap. These are all lies. All celebrities are not the same. This is an attack against my character. And I'm worried about my family and my family's safety and the public image that the hit that my public image is taken from all of this. This is crazy." And right after was the Blue Ivy joint with the Mufasa premiere, right? And it was like kind of a dark cloud over the family with Jay-Z showing up because he had these allegations on this record. And, I said, y'all be sure to, kind of keep that same energy that y'all have for Puff. Y'all ain't have much but an accusation and a lawsuit with Puff, and everybody was writing him off as this crazy evil man. Well, with Jay, you know what I'm saying? It was, oh, Jay ain't do that, Jay ain't do that, Jay. And it's like, I just thought that was crazy. But I did do a video on the suit being dropped, the lawyers coming back. I mean, the accuser changing their mind and the lawyers coming back. And now I'm doing a video on what I'm doing the video on the suit being dropped. And now Jay-Z saying $20 million was lost from this. So with that being said, let's read the deadline story from Dominic Patton. The lawsuit accusing Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs of repeatedly a minor in 2000 after the MTV VMAs was dismissed on Valentine's Day, but the bitter relationship between Jay-Z and attorney Tony Busby rages on. Filed 4 days after Busby represented Jane Doe voluntarily dismissed with prejudice her claims, Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, made a declaration in the docket of the Los Angeles Superior Court, ripping the Texas-based attorney, rejecting Busby's attempt to have the Roc Nation's boss, the defamation and extortion suit, essentially gutted. Jay-Z's February 10th filing from the career-ending accusations of assaulting a 13-year-old girl unsurprisingly damaged his business and his family, the former to the tune of $20 million a year. While not mentioning the NFL, with Roc Nation has recently renewed the Super Bowl halftime show deal, Jay-Z's declaration makes clear that even Roger Goodell run league was standing by him. Others were very much inclined to do so. Mr. Busby's actions undermined my relationship and my company Rock Nation's relationship with other businesses in the sports and entertainment space, the filing states. We have agreements to produce entertainment programs for certain sporting events. After Mr. Busby filed the lawsuit, the media reported that other businesses could end their deals with Rock Nation and force one to speak out and address whether these false allegations would end their business relationship. Immediately after Mr. Busby went public with false accusations, my company, Rock Nation, also lost other contracts in the sports and entertainment space that will be generated revenue of approximately $20 million per year. The accusation of then teen Jane Doe is alleged to have occurred on the night of September 7, 2000, during one of Diddy's drug-fueled parties after that year's MTV VMAs. A graphic October 2024 lawsuit from Busby first named only Combs, but the distinct reference to the company cited as male celebrity A and female celebrity B. Jay-Z was named as celebrity A in the December 8th refiling by Busby, which followed by a separate November 18th suit from Quinn Emanuel O'Curt and Sullivan, representative, anonymous celebrity and public figure who resides in Los Angeles, later revealed to be Jay-Z, that went after the Texas lawyer for extortion. After a flurry of filings, including several unsuccessful attempts at dismissal, one problematic NBC News sit-down featuring the now middle-aged Jane Doe and other media duels, the whole matter was pulled on February 14th by the plaintiff with no explanation by Busby. On the other hand, Jay-Z said in a statement posted that day on Rock Nation's X feed, "I would not wish this experience on anyone. That trauma that my wife, my children, and loved ones have endured can never be dismissed. Poor child." In fact, on February 10th, the multi-Grammy winner also got specific about what could be viewed as a hit on him timing-wise when he was publicly named December 8th. "I was harshly criticized by others for accompanying my daughter to the premiere of her movie day after Mr. Busby filed the Jane Doe lawsuit against me," JC said in a full tilt. December 9th, Los Angeles premiere of the Barry Jenkins directed Mufasa, The Lion King, that he attended with his daughter Blue Ivy and his wife Beyonce. Media outlets reported that Disney was hesitant over my attendance at the premiere because of the accusations. "I feel that Mr. Busby purposely filed the lawsuit on the eve of my daughter's premiere to put me in the position of having to choose between supporting my daughter or hiding to avoid the negative press coverage." Busby's assertion that there is nothing extreme and outrageous about his false claims that Mr. Carter is a serial child is erroneous and appalling, states an accompanying 22-page opposition to the defendant's motion to strike. Despite all of the citations of threats, alleged multiple victims, strong-armed by Busby for something of substance from Jay-Z of his clients, the hip-hop icon's attendance at big NFL games and the Grammys in recent weeks, this could all be DOA now, as of a February 25th hearing in downtown LA remains in the books. Deadline reached out to both the lawyers of Jay-Z and Jane Doe for comment and clarification on the state of affairs, but the filing of the judicial notice Tuesday and LASC may provide a clue. In that paperwork, Jay-Z lawyer Robert M. Schwartz did note that the February 14th dismissal in New York, NYC, and stressed, given that Mr. Busby filed the dismissal 4 days after Mr. Carter filed the opposition to the anti-SLAPP motion on February 10th, Mr. Carter could not have made the dismissal a part of his opposition. The attorney added, "The voluntary dismissal with prejudice is relevant to Mr. Carter's opposition to the defendants." What does that mean? Pending special motion to strike, anti-SLAPP motion, which attacks the legal and factual basis of Mr. Carter's claims for extortion, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The gravamen of Mr. Carter's claims is that Mr. Busby failed to properly investigate Jane Doe's claims before Mr. Busby accused Mr. Carter of and threatened to refer her to the law enforcement authorities, and then demanded that Mr. Carter pay his client something of substance to buy her silence and avoid a public spectacle and litigation. Mr. Schwartz then goes on to make another point in today's filing. The fact finder in this case can reasonably infer that voluntary dismissal, that Mr. Busby's public statements said Mr. Carter had Jane Doe were false, making them defamatory. Perhaps this is more about a West Coast war now. They're saying this is not about the NYC thing, but what's going on in LA. As for Mr. Combs, who still faces dozens of assault and abuse civil claims from Mr. Busby, represented plaintiffs and others, he remains behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, where he's been since his September 16th arrest, failing on multiple occasions to get released on $50 million bail and looking at life in prison if found guilty. The Bad Boys record founder is set to go on trial on racketeering, sex, and transportation to engage in charges on May 5th. It is unlikely Jay-Z will show up at that event, even though without him, it will still remain a spectacle. Okay, all right. So a lot of things to trip me up in that reading, obviously. But it pretty much just sounded like Jay-Z was trying to, he's not trying, but he's going after Busby for what he did. He said, "You ruined my money, so we're gonna go after you. You don't come after Jay-Z." That's kind of what I see right here. Is Jay-Z kind of asserting his power and saying like, "Yo, you don't come after Jay-Z, and this is why you don't come after Jay-Z. I'm gonna make an example out of you and anybody else who tries Mr. Sean. What's Jay-Z's? Sean Carter. I'm tweaking. So there's that. There was an interesting thing that I saw on Twitter today before I get out of here. And I'm so glad that everybody tuned in and said, "What's up?" All the good things. And we are going to get out with this, man. Okay. So what happened was, here it is. Coi Leray. So Coi Leray, she went on Twitter yesterday, and a thing with Coi that's been going on, for those of you who might not know what's been going on with Coi Leray. So Coi Leray, in the recent months, got back with her ex, Trippie Redd. Ironically, both of my favorite songs from both of them, it's a song that they have together. Let me look up the name. What's the song? Everything Boss. That's my favorite song from both of them. This joint right here, bro. Great song, amazing song. Check it out if you haven't already. It's like my favorite song from both of them. But yes, they got back together a few months ago. A couple months after that, Coi Leray popped up pregnant with Mr. Trippie Redd. So that was the case she was showing when she posted it. And then Coi Leray, probably a couple weeks after that, posted that Trippie Redd stepped out of the relationship and he cheated on her. So after that, some fans had some suggestions of what she should do with the baby. Coi Leray then comes out with a music video probably last Friday, and she no longer has a baby bump. No more baby bump. And there's no post of welcome a baby to the world. We don't know these people. We don't know their lives. But that's what happened. Next thing we see after the public's reaction to that is this. Girls don't care if he got a baby on the way, married, in a relationship, just had a baby, happily in love. It doesn't matter what it is. They will always be there. What matters is a man's discipline and the way he doesn't play about his girl. He's got to be ready for commitment 100%. Now, my opinion of this, no one asked for it, but I'll say it. My opinion of this is it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street, I feel like. Like the women on one end that are helping the man cheat, obviously, especially if you're a celebrity and you're in a public relationship, they know you're in a relationship. So if you know the other person is in a relationship, you are, participating in that as well. And like I said, like, hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I think both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of people take that, that's none of my business approach. If you take that's none of my business approach as the other party helping that party cheat, okay, that's one thing. It don't make it right, but that's one thing. But like Coi said, I ain't gonna lie, you kind of got to give it to him. Like, It's up to the man. It's up to the person in the relationship to respect the relationship away from the relationship. As tongue tied as that is. Not everyone is going to the top with you. Some friends are meant to just be vibes, and that's okay. This is just a youngin trying to figure out life, bro. Trying to figure it out because stuff moves fast, especially I can imagine if you have like fame mixed into that. She's 27, so she's not like the youngest, but she's still like learning, right? Right. We're all still learning. It's a part of it. And then so today, so that post went viral, right? That post went viral yesterday. People wrote about it, everything like that. Trippy Red comes back today with this 5 hours ago. To every woman I ever did wrong, I'll do it again. Why would you say something like that, bro? Why? Like, what's wrong with some people? This is some of the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, this was insane to see. And this I feel like we can't normalize this. Obviously, we don't know the full story, but on the surface level, what we do know, Koi gets back with her ex. Koi and her former ex, now boyfriend again, get pregnant. Koi tweets that the boy cheated. Then Koi pops back up with no more belly bump. That's what we know. And she vented about it that the man has to hold it down and he has to have the discipline to not step out of his relationship when he's in a relationship. And his response was, to every girl that I ever did wrong, I'll do it again. I'll double down on it. What is going on, bro? And it's up to us to condemn that behavior, bro, because that's crazy. That's crazy work, bro. I think we put up with way too like out of pocket behavior, bro. I do. We put out with out of pocket behavior and we normalize it and stuff like that. I think this is messed up. It's pretty crazy on Tripp's part. But also at the same time, a part of me is like, why did Trippy say this? Does Trippy know something and have the full story? Like they say, it's your side of the story, it's my side of the story, and then it's the truth. 3 sides of the story. And as Mo pointed out, Mo said, "Hey, he ain't say woman. He said another word." And as you guys can read, he said another word. I don't know what the truth is, so technically he ain't say Koi. but obviously, look, Mo, if Koi posted this yesterday, it goes viral. People start writing articles about it, and then he posts this the next day. You got to look at the context. Trippie Redd ain't posted since February. He ain't posted in a week. And when's the last time Trippie Redd posted something that wasn't even promo? Okay, here we go. That's promo. This is promo. This is promo. This is promo. This is promo. 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 All right, we're gonna keep scrolling. I'm gonna just stop when I don't see no promo. The last time that Trippie Redd hasn't posted promo was November 9th, 2024. It's been 3 months since Trippie Redd has posted something on his X account, formerly known as Twitter by you and me, right? That he didn't post something promo. And the first thing he posts promo, to any girl that I ever did wrong, I'll do it again. It's obviously about Koi. It's obviously about Koi. But that's just my take on it. I do think there has to be, because there's no way that bro just said that off top. Like unless he is just evil. Like it's a possibility he's evil. We don't know these people. It's a possibility he's evil, but it's also a possibility that something else happened with Koi on Koi's end, and she's painting herself to be the victim in public, and that ain't the full thing. But regardless, like Mo said, you can't just be saying that. You can't be talking about that. We also need to kind of like deregularize that type of language that we use towards each other, but that's a whole nother conversation. That's what I had today. And speaking of that, also I'm closing with this. So I'll open with personal, I'm closing with personal. I want to again, I'm saying show accountability, and because I definitely have been moving kind of flaw and just been, I'm saying, like, I think definitely sometimes as a human, your emotions can get the best of you. You can say things out of emotion. And I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been moving P. I ain't been moving P for like the past couple weeks with some folks. And I like to apologize to those people and everything like that. Because it's just I was moving whack. I was moving whack. You have to hold yourself accountable and everything because we can hold ourselves to a certain standard and move a certain way, move with respect, move with honors, move with morals. And then every now and again, you get emotional and you have a moment where you say something messed up or you know what I'm saying, you hurt somebody with your words. And I feel like I have done that recently. And so I want to take accountability for it. Same way that, we put these celebrities out on Front Street or I have the past couple months. So that's it. That's all I want to say. And once again, if you are new to the channel, my name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 5K subs. Regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what's happening in your life, you have to hold yourself accountable. And that is not an excuse to act out of character. Keep the morals, keep the main thing. And until next time, please take care of.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Enjoy Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one quick question?
can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.